Australia, the land of kangaroos, koalas, and the Great Barrier Reef. It's a country that's often romanticized as paradise, with its stunning natural beauty and laid-back lifestyle. But what if I told you that nobody wants to move to Australia? And trust me, it's not just the spiders keeping people at bay. Far, far away. Did you know that according to international comparisons of wealth, education, health, and quality of life, Australia ranks as one of the greatest countries in the world to live in? Sure, the continent is expensive, but its population doesn't even begin to cover it. So why aren't people packing their bags and moving there in droves? Well, it's because Australia's geographical isolation is a real doozy. Australia is the 6th largest country in the world by total area, and it's surrounded by water on all sides. The closest neighboring countries, Indonesia and Papua New Guinea, are still a fair distance away. To put it into perspective, flying from Sydney to Los Angeles takes over 14 hours nonstop, and that's one of the shorter long-haul flights from Australia. And it's not just about flying. If you're thinking of a road trip, well, you'd better buckle up. Driving from, say, Sydney to Perth would take you around 40 hours of nonstop driving, and that's without accounting for rest breaks and sightseeing along the way. Now, let me tell you about the epic journey from Australia to the United States. We're looking at a hefty 19 hours and 26 minutes in the air. Seriously, how much plane food can you stand to get to the other side? Now, that flight time is based on the assumption that the plane is cruising along at about 500 miles per hour. Just to give you an idea, that's roughly 805 kilometers per hour. And don't forget to factor in an extra half hour for takeoff and landing. Oh, and if you're wondering about taxiing time between the gate and the runway, that's not even part of the flying time. Let's not even get started on potential wait times at the airports or any other curveballs like weather delays. Those can throw a bit of a wrench in your schedule. Just to put it all in simple terms, I'm talking about covering a straight line distance of about 15,230 kilometers. That's a serious chunk of the globe. So if you're someone who's used to being closer to family and friends, now you know the miles between you and them. Show me the money. Oh boy, inflation in Australia has really been making its presence felt lately. In 2022, it hit a whopping 7.8%, and it was still hanging around at an average of 7% for the year 2023 up to March. I'm talking wallets being squeezed and wrung out to dry. If that doesn't sound bad, wait till you hear the stats the Australian Bureau of Statistics has to share. Over the past year, I've seen an 8% jump in food and non-alcoholic beverages. And if you've been eyeing that dream holiday, brace yourself, because travel and accommodation costs have shot up by a staggering 25%. Medical services aren't far behind either, with a 6.7% increase. And electricity? Hold on to your hats, because it's surged by a jaw-dropping 15.5%, the biggest spike since 2013. So now, what does this all mean in the real world? Well, your grocery bill is a bit heftier, petrol prices are flirting with the $2 a liter mark, and airfares have gone far beyond what we were used to pre-pandemic. If you're renting, you're forking out over 20% more each week compared to 2022. And get ready for a winter of bill shock, because electricity prices are poised to climb another 20% thanks to new charges set by the energy regulator. So if you want to live to see the next winter, you might need to empty your bank account. Just for context, the Reserve Bank of Australia typically aims for an inflation rate of about 2 to 3%. So if you've got that nagging feeling that things are getting pricier, you're spot on. It's a challenging time for Aussie wallets, no doubt about it. The question is this a challenge that you're ready to take on too? The weather's mood swings. Oh mate, let's talk about the wild weather down under. Australia is like Mother Nature's playground for extreme conditions. First off, let's chat about the scorchers. Summers in Australia can be brutal. I'm not talking about a little heat wave. I'm talking about temperatures that can soar right up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit or more. It's like stepping into an oven. So your skin is not going to thank you. Australia has one of the world's highest incidences of skin cancer too. 2 out of every 3 Australians will be diagnosed with skin cancer before the age of 70. Yikes! And don't even get me started on those suffocating hot winds. They feel like a hairdryer set to turbo mode. Then, of course, there's the bushfires. So 4 years after those devastating bushfires that tore through southeastern Australia, 2023's been on high alert. Weather experts are sounding the alarm, saying 2023's been the hottest, driest period since the grim period known as the Black Summer. And would you believe it, heat records were already being shattered around Sydney back in spring. Some regional schools even closed early due to the bushfire risk. Now, here's the thing. Australia's had some unexpected heavy rain since those fires back in 2019 and 2020. Sounds like good news, right? Not so fast. All that rain has led to a growth spurt in vegetation, which might sound nice, but it's basically providing more fuel for potential fires. So it's more like a double-edged sword. Now, for anyone thinking about moving here, it's crucial to understand this reality. The climate can be fierce, and the threat of bushfires is very real. Life in Australia is not just about being aware, but it's also about being prepared. But it's not all about heat. Australia's got a moody side too. Flash floods and intense storms can come out of nowhere, wreaking havoc on towns and cities. One minute you're enjoying a sunny day at the beach, and the next you're scrambling for cover as the heavens open up. And let's not forget about the cyclones up north. When one of those bad boys hits, it's like nature's own roller coaster ride. The howling winds, the torrential rain. It's like a full-blown symphony of chaos. But here's the thing. Aussies are kind of used to this weather roller coaster. It's just a part of the package deal of living in the beautiful, rugged land. They've got their sun hats and umbrellas at the ready because they've learned a thing or two from Mother Nature. Of course, it might take a little getting used to if you decide to jump ship and move there. Wild ride with wildlife. Oh, Australia's wildlife is quite the character cast, isn't it? You've got to be on your toes with some of those critters. First up, I've got to tell you about the box jellyfish. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, translucent and sneaky. It's got venom that's so nasty, it attacks your heart, nerves, and skin. Definitely one to steer clear of, especially in northern Australia from October to May. Then there's the taipan snake. It's got the title of the most venomous snake in the world. Thankfully, it tends to be more of a slinker than a fighter, but trust me, you don't want to test its toxic cocktail. And let's not forget the saltwater crocodile, or salty as the locals call it. These brutes can be found in estuaries and freshwater, and they've got a bit of a reputation. They're huge, aggressive, and not picky eaters. While attacks are rare, it's best not to tempt fate. Now, the blue-ringed octopus may look like a work of art, but trust me, you do not want to mess with it. Their bites can be fatal, and there's no magic antidote. The stonefish is another sneaky customer. It's venomous and incredibly hard to spot, so be careful where you step if you're wading through coastal waters. Look out for the redback spider. It's like the Australian version of a black widow, small but it packs a punch. Thankfully, they have had an antidote since the 50s. Oh, and I need to mention the brown snake and the tiger snake, both highly venomous, but there are anti-venom for them, thank goodness. The great white shark, a real celebrity in the ocean, gets a bad rap sometimes. Shark attacks are super rare, so don't let Hollywood's drama keep you out of the water. Finally, the Sydney funnel web spider. These little guys love sneaking into cool, humid spots, even your shoes. Their bite's a doozy. These little guys have quite the reputation, and it's not for nothing. Their venom is like something out of a sci-fi movie. When they nibble on us humans, it's like a full-blown action thriller. I'm talking serious pain, difficulty breathing, and even some confusion and convulsions. It's like a real-life scarefest, and if you don't get help pronto, things can take a turn for the worse really fast. So just make sure you live near a hospital to get a dose of antivenom in a worst-case scenario. Unemployed down under. Okay, did you hear about the job market in Australia? It's a bit of a seesaw lately. In July of 2023, the unemployment rate went up to 3.7%, surprising some experts who were expecting a slightly lower number. Around 14,600 jobs got the boot, with most of them being full-time gigs. Part-time work, on the other hand, had a little growth spurt. That's another 9,600 positions that popped up. The Reserve Bank has a crystal ball, and it's predicting that the unemployment rate will rise to 4.5% by the end of 2024. I mean, it's not rocket science, but everyone's suspecting a bumpy road ahead for the citizens. And let's not forget that Australia has managed to add about 1 million jobs since the whole COVID-19 situation started. And the jobless rate has been flirting with historic lows for almost a year. Oh, and on a side note, the Australian Bureau of Statistics spilled the tea on average weekly earnings. Full-time employees got a little treat with a 3.9% increase for the year up to May. And the wage gap between men and women? It's at a record low of 13%. Turns out, professions typically run by women, like teaching and nursing, got a little extra boost. So there's good and bad, and for some, the good outweighs all the cons. Now you know that if you need to make the big leap, you have to carry a high SPF sunblock and maybe plenty of money in the bank. That's the end of today's video. Follow my channel to learn the best tips and tricks and more exciting content. See you next time.